neurotypical people in neurodiverse ASD marriages often tell me that they are experiencing a sense of extreme social isolation. Many of them came into these marriages from a place where they were getting a lot of social communication from their friends and from their environment before the marriage. And many of them came into the marriage being somewhat of a social caretaker for their partner who has autism. And over time in the marriage, they find themselves feeling more and more isolated. Now, this makes sense for those who got married in their early years when there's all sorts of socializing going on. And then over time, as all of the people around them grow into building families and interacting more often with children than they are with each other at parties, that sense of social isolation would really, really increase. And of course, if there's a situation in which there's a very traditional splitting of the work and one person is the stay-at-home parent and the other person is the providing parent, that can increase the amount of social isolation even more because there isn't a regular outlet for neurotypical communication in the workplace. And so a good first piece of advice, of course, is if you realize you're in a neurodiverse ASD marriage and you're the neurotypical, is to go out and actively seek more neurotypical communication. I recommend the Meetups app. There are always people there, always places to go, things to do, people to meet. But is that when you're doing that, it's not as easy to put those relationships together in a secure way in later adulthood, even with the Meetup app. There aren't always a lot of people who are out there ready to make that kind of friendship as there were when you were in high school or college in your early 20s, when everyone was single and everyone was creating new friendships. So it's tough. These typically developing people tend to feel very socially isolated while they're also managing the fact that they're not receiving the reciprocal communication that would make them feel steady and secure that neurotypical people naturally need. And when they're not receiving the kind of touch that would communicate to them that the person giving them the touch understands what that touch means to them, all of these things are happening for neurotypical people in neurodiverse marriages. And it needs to be talked about. People with autism are important, and neurotypical people are important too. That's what neurodiversity is. Everybody's important. Not just the people with autism, not just the people who are neurotypical. So we need to talk about both.